Alrighty guys, so welcome to my channel, or this video. My name is Taco019, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the World Series and my prediction of what will happen. Now, of course, it's not going to be correct, although I hope it's correct, otherwise I'm going to look like a little fool on YouTube, but I already do, so it makes it worth it. But today, I'm going to talk a little bit about my predictions. Now, we have two very, very good teams going at it. We have the 94-67 Cleveland Indians, and we have the 103-58 Chicago Cubs. Now, these two teams I don't think faced during the regular season, if I'm not mistaken. But this will be a very, very, very fun series to watch. This will be one of the best World Series in the last 10 years, in my opinion, by far. You have the Cubs, which is a blockbuster for the World Series, considering that the Cubs haven't been to the World Series since 1945. They haven't won a World Series since 1908, of course. Then you have the Indians that haven't won a World Series since 1948. So at this rate, you have 176, years of not being able to win a World Series, and that is the most in MLB history by 50 plus years. So, I mean, someone's record is going to be broken. Now, am I biased? Of course I am, as you can probably tell by my sweater. I am a Cleveland fan. I'm from Cleveland. I'm from the city of Cleveland, and to say that I expected us to go to the World Series, win the division, I honestly couldn't say I expected that. I more or less expected it last year, but bringing in guys like Napoli, Rajai Davis, those guys have really brought a veteran presence in the locker room and have helped us along the way greatly. Napoli putting up 34 home runs and 101 RBIs. That was just absolutely crucial for what we're doing nowadays. Now, will we bring it back next year? I'm not too sure. But they're versing a very, very good Chicago Cub team. They have young talent such as Jason Heyward, which he's not really young, but he's actually not playing very well. His bat isn't going well. They got Baez. They got Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Lester. They have a great starting pitching staff for the Arrieta. And, I mean, both teams have their weaknesses and they have their strengths. Now, Cleveland has the advantage in the bullpen, in my opinion. Bringing in Shaw, Otero, then you have the big guns with Allen and Miller. Cardiac Cody, please don't fail me during the World Series, please. So, overall, the bullpen, I believe the Indians have that advantage, but their starting pitching staff, it is so, I'm not going to say it's bad, but it's really scary considering that everyone got injured over the last couple months. We had Carrasco that's out, Salazar that's out, Bauer has the cut on his hand. I mean, it's really scary. Plus, we did have a key piece of Michael Brantley earlier in the year, and he's been out all season. I feel really bad. He was our corner piece. He was our main piece in Cleveland 2-3 years ago, and then he's been hurt for the last 2 years, and it's been a downward battle for him now. Yan Gomes is ready to play. Salazar should be ready in the World Series, but there's no confirmation of that yet. Now, if Salazar's playing, I believe it could be a huge help. But Merritt gave him a great 4 1/3 innings on. Crap, it's been a couple days. But Merritt pitched really well. And then Clevinger might come out of the bullpen. I'm not too sure. But personally, I think Cleveland can lead in the bullpen division. If our starting pitching even does remotely above average, and our bullpen can shut down the Cubs' offense, which is really hard to do, then I think personally we should be okay. It's possible that we win the World Series. But now we're on the flip side. We have Chicago. In Chicago, let me just say it right now. Chicago has no excuse to lose this World Series. From 1 to 9 from the pitching staff, they have no reason to lose. And if they lose, which I hope they do, to be honest, it'll be a huge shock. I mean, it's Cleveland's year, so it's possible that it could be that way, but I don't believe it will be. So, for the bats, I mean, both Cleveland and Chicago have a strong hitting stance from 1 through 9. They're all going to do well. They're all possibly going to get base hits. So, that's not what I'm really worried about, although Cleveland did struggle a little bit during the ALCS against the Blue Jays with offense. I mean, they only scored 2 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs. I mean, overall, their batting percentage or their batting average was below a 2, which wasn't very good. But with that being said, Chicago had their moments where they were up and down during the postseason. And to be unbiased, I'm sorry, I'm pretty tired. But to be unbiased, Chicago, when they're on fire, are lights out. And that's really scary for Cleveland. All my friends and I are super worried considering the fact that if Rizzo's hot, if Bryant's hot, which will be the MVP, and I'm very, very happy for him, it's just hard to stop. The thing is, if Cleveland can get some hits on their starting pitchers, I mean, Lester is one of the best pitchers in the MLB, in my opinion. Is on flipping fire. I mean, all those guys, 1 through 5, their starting rotation. I'm not sure if they're going with a 3-man rotation, but Cleveland's probably going to have to. Probably going to have to go with Kluber. Hopefully Bauer's ready to go. If not, then that's not going to happen. Then we have Tomlin, and then we can bring back Merritt, and then hopefully Salazar can come back because Carrasco's out for the year. But if we can do that, and if we can actually get some hits off these starting pitchers, I have no doubt in my mind that the bullpen can hopefully finish the deal. But that's saying a lot. I'm really hoping Chapman chokes. I'm really hoping he chokes. I don't think he will. But personally, unbiased, I'm going to go biased first. I think Cleveland's going to win in 7. Now, these are 2 different scenarios, but my official guess will be Indians will win Game 1, Chicago will win Game 2 and 3, Indians will win Game 4, and then Chicago's going to win 5 and 6. I think that Chicago will win in 6 games. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a true believer, and this is just a prediction. This is nothing to do with my actual hopes, but the thing is that the Chicago has no excuse not to win. If they lose, it will be sort of a choke, but at the same time, Cleveland is a very, very well-rounded, up-and-coming team, and I personally wouldn't be surprised if the Tri pulled out this W. But going on a talent standpoint, talent isn't everything, but if you're going on a talent standpoint, Cubs should win in 6 games. I mean, Cleveland has some great talent, but they're very, very young. So are Chicago, but overall talent, Chicago has Cleveland. But with heart, I mean, you have those die-hard Cubs fans that are absolutely excited. All those tears were just pouring, and I felt sympathy for them, to be honest. I mean, when the Cavaliers won, I personally cried. Everyone in the city of Cleveland, I went out, and then there was just honking everywhere, and people were just yelling. I swear to God, there was no crime in Cleveland that night. But, I mean, if the Cubs won the World Series, so be it. I'd be very happy for them, but at the same time, seeing the Indians go to the World Series is a dream come true, and I'm extremely excited to see what happens. But I really think Cubs in 6. Now, I hope that doesn't happen, but I really think the Cubs will win in 6 games. I think Rizzo is going to go off. I think he had a huge batting slump. Then Game 5, he broke out of a shell and got, I think, 3 hits. That was huge for him. Fowler's been playing pretty well. I just don't want to see them, kill it. But I really think they're going to murder the Indians' pitching staff. Now, do I think it will really happen? Yes. Do I want it to happen? No. Personally, I think Cleveland will play very well. I really think they're going to hit the bats well. Lester, I think they're going to play great against Lester. I think he's starting Game 1. I think he'll actually kill Lester. But Arrieta has had some slumps, and I think that he's going to really shine throughout this postseason, or throughout this series. So he has to, because he's getting paid this offseason, and if he doesn't show up, he's not going to be looked at the same. He should end up on a good note, but at the same time, let's go Tribe, baby. Hopefully, Tribes in 7. Tribe in 7, baby. Psych! Guess what? Tribe in 7, baby. Tribe in 7.